trying to get penetration, but they want to go over the top.
Too high. Wheeler over the head of Sheboy. One-on-one with Brooks. Hands it for Lee. Bounce. Nadefo.
Oh, pretty.
Gives it up. Drame with the deuce. And it's a 3-point lead for St. Peter's in overtime. 8 of 10 at the free throw line. Kentucky 1 of 6. He nails a pair.
Wow.
7 seconds left. Wheeler gives it up. Brooks, the jumper. No good. You can feel the madness. St. Peter's pulls off the upset.
Unbelievable upset yesterday. St. Peter's knocks off number 2 seed Kentucky, and your bracket is effing busted. Iowa loses. We'll get into all the March Madness results yesterday. This is interesting to see your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, and gambling, etc., etc. I've had enough coffee that my tongue is sticky. A little lisp going on this morning. We're going to get into some NFL news, of course, but I want to start with this NBA situation that's happening. Remember, you can watch the show in its entirety on YouTube each day. Follow the YouTube channel. Is that in the show notes? It better be. Sure hope that it is. Steph Curry's hurt, and he's out indefinitely with this ankle thing. It looks to me like he has a high ankle sprain, but who's to say? The question is this a dirty play? And I guess I'll pull it up for you to watch. Playing the Celtics, and Marcus Smart dives for a loose ball, and you can tell he just gets rolled up on. This is a play that happens quite a bit in football, but let's just see tell me what you think here. Internet, don't do this, Internet. Hold on, let me refresh it just for you guys. This is all these losers with their March Madness BS, guys. Here we go. Take a look at this clip, and let me know what you think. So there's Smart, dives on the ankle. But watch his left ankle right there.
He had that left ankle rolled up.
So they're both diving for a loose ball. This is why Cam Newton didn't dive for that fumble in the Super Bowl, because he couldn't want his ankle rolled up on. And Steph, of course, comes up limping. We'll mute it here for you, like if you could watch later. He comes away limping, man. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. Injuries suck. But Marcus Smart's an effort guy. He's a defensive guy. What do you want him to do? I mean, I vote. I'm in the camp of not dirty. But it's going to impact the playoffs. Golden State was looking at the 2 or 3 seed in the Western Conference of the NBA. I don't know what to tell you. NHL trade deadline is en route. En route. It's on the way. It's perpetually en route, I guess you could say. I could choose a better vocabulary there. But a couple big names to watch, in my opinion, are Claude Giroux, who was occasionally for a couple games a year for the last 15 years, it seems like. Claude Giroux was one of the best, 10 players in the world, and occasionally probably even the best player in the world every now and then. And he just last night celebrated his 1,000th game, or was it 2 nights ago? It was recently. It was in the last 48 hours. Here's the video. Look at his kid. His kid looks just like him. It's adorable. Look at Giroux. His kid's in a bow tie. Oh, man, I love that. I love that for Claude Giroux. Giroux. Captain of the Flyers. If he wants to go win a Stanley Cup, it should be up to him. He's got a no-trade clause in his contract. A lot of people thought the Avalanche might be after him, but I don't think that they will, and I'll tell you why. They have been making moves in the last 48 hours or so. But Claude Giroux could be on the move. Patrick Kane could be on the move as well. Tyler Bertuzzi could be on the move. The price for these guys is going to be high. The price for Bertuzzi will be higher than that of Kane or Giroux, possibly, but not because he's better or has been better or will ever be better, but because he's younger, which is how this goes. I have this is from NHL.com. It's up on YouTube. If you can see it right there. If we zoom in right here to see what that's too far. Calgary Flyers Cale Yarnkirk from the Kraken. The Kraken were really interesting strategy that the Kraken employed by setting this up to be a team that can rebuild. So instead of being good right away like Vegas, because that was hard. I can't believe they did that. Just genius shit from Vegas when they came into the league. But Kraken set up to be rebuilding. They got themselves a lot of tradable assets, a lot of young guys that they can move. And the idea is that it'll pay off in the long run, but we'll see. Colorado acquired defenseman Josh Manson from the Ducks. That was a couple days ago. I think these big pieces are going to move. I think it's just smarter for everybody. Trading is essentially a win-win for people. If you're not going to make the playoffs and it's not going to be part of your long-term plans, you've got to do it. I mean, you just have to. It can't be a negotiable thing, and it hurts, especially for a guy like Giroux, who's been the best player on the Flyers for 10 years now, or for Patrick Kane, who's been the best player in the Blackhawks other than like one or two guys, and probably the best American of all time. It's just it sucks. But you have to do it. So that's what's going on in the NHL. Let's go to the National Football League before we get to March Madness. Whew. Two things happened yesterday. The first, we'll do in chronological order. The first, and this is hilarious. Kyle Pitts, man, buddy. Kyle Pitts got yelled at by someone. You know it. He tweeted at 1:05 p.m., "It's about to get scary in Atlanta," and then the zipped lips emoji. And then he deleted that tweet. His agent and Deshaun Watson's agent are the same guy. So everyone was like, oh, he's going to Atlanta. And then he deleted it. And then he was like, oh, that tweet was about someone else. It was about Casey Hayward, the cornerback. And they're like, well, then why'd you delete the tweet, dude? There are rappers like Quavo that are recruiting Deshaun Watson to Atlanta. Deshaun loves the attention he's getting, and you can tell, because he's going to push off his decision into the weekend. Matt Ryan is due $7.5 million at noon today from the Atlanta Falcons, and he and the Falcons have agreed to push that off to the weekend because if they had to pay him, it would be just ridiculous to pay him and then trade for Deshaun and then have to get rid of him because he gets that money either way, and there's nothing they can do to like write that off the salary cap. So they agreed, Matt Ryan agreed to take that. It's not a pay cut. They're just moving it to Monday, perhaps Tuesday. So Deshaun's going to rub this in and make us deal with this all weekend during March Madness, which is just great. But then later last night at 7:30 p.m., the Green Bay Packers decided to trade Pro Bowl wide receiver Davante Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. Davante Adams and Derek Carr are reunited. Remember, they were in the same draft class at Fresno State. People forget how effing good Fresno State was. A college football team that has Derek Carr and Davante Adams going to win a shit ton of games, and they did. The Mountain West has got, every now and then the Mountain West has got a team that can ball. So the reaction to this on the interweb was crazy. The first thing was like, haha, the Packers are idiots. Aaron Rodgers came back, and they're not even going to pay the best receiver in the NFL. Who's going to want? So right now, DeAndre Hopkins is making $27 million a year. Davante Adams is now and has been for the last 3 years, essentially statistically, inarguably the best receiver in professional football. He leads like in touchdowns, yards, 100-yard games, like catches. I don't know if he leads in catches. He might not lead in catches, but he's amazing. Allegedly, he was not going to play on the franchise tag. The Packers tagged him. He's like, I want a real deal. And then they were negotiating a real deal, and now they trade him. So the first reaction to this is that the Packers are cheapskates, and they screwed Aaron Rodgers. But then the reaction came out that Davante Adams just wants to play for the Raiders. He's from NorCal. That's Oakland. Now they're in Vegas. Derek Carr is there. I think he wants to play with Derek Carr. I mean, I don't know that they're like great friends off the field, but you want to play with your college buddy, man. So, I mean, I think Davante Adams is just like, he's a really interesting disruptor. I think and these millennial football players, I think they just want to be happy. It's crazy. I think part of the deal for the Staffords is I think Kelly wanted to be famous, so they moved to L.A. I mean, the Lions could very well have traded them to the Colts. My God, that's what my hair looks like right now? Jesus Christ. So interesting trade last night in the NFL. Everyone talking about what's going to happen with other Raiders receivers, and maybe the Raiders are good. The AFC West right now is fucking bananas. They got all the good players. Everybody that's been good in the last 5 years seems to be playing in the AFC West now. The Raiders can win that division, man. Who knows? Who knows? Let's get to March Madness. That's why everyone's here. That's why everyone's here to this show. Bracket busting shit happened yesterday. So we're going to start it with, YouTube. Why are you doing me like that, man? We're going to start with, I guess we can go in chronological order. There's no reason not to, right? I'm going to see if I can get a better view for the YouTubers out there. I don't know that I can. Probably not. Alas, we're going to start with the games in chronological order. So the first game was Michigan-Colorado State. Colorado State up 10. Michigan comes back to win. I had them picked in one of my two brackets. I knew that they were going to win because it's just something that we're all going to have to deal with. South Dakota State put up a hell of a fight against Providence. Memphis shit pumped Boise State. So the Mountain West had 4 teams in. And within 20 minutes of the tournament, Wyoming, Colorado State, and Boise are out, leaving it up to San Diego State, who also lost yesterday. The Big Ten and the Mountain West, guys, they can't play in the tournament. These conferences, they just can't. I think the only Mountain West teams that have ever been good, UNLV made a run once, and BYU made the Elite Eight with Jimmer Fredette. Other than that, Kawhi Leonard, I think, only made the Sweet 16. Kawhi Leonard. So, bet against the Mountain West in the tournament. Richmond beat Iowa. People are going to complain about a foul that may or may not have been called in that game, but these are the two hottest teams in college basketball coming in. But I saw a TikTok that said something along the lines of, when it comes to the college basketball tournament, you have to pay attention to teams that are good at offense and hot, but are bad at defense, and they're very easy to bet against, and that's what happened yesterday. Biggest shit pumping of the day, I think mathematically it was Kansas beating Texas Southern. Yeah, they won by 27. But the real shit pumping, actually, that was not the biggest shit pumping. The biggest shit pumping was North Carolina beating Marquette. That was an 8-9 game, and North Carolina won that game by 32. Beware, and I've noticed this myself, and I don't have any stats to back this up. This is anytime I have success in the tournament or I have gambling success in the NCAA tournament, it's when I bet on teams that win their first two games by a lot, regardless of their seed. Pay attention to teams that aren't tested, because it's possible that they're just that fucking good. So in the last couple weeks, North Carolina, they pumped Marquette. And now Marquette is not having a great year. But they also pumped Duke in Cameron, who's a 2 seed. We got to pay attention to North Carolina. Other things that happened yesterday, I think another enormous shit pumping is, and I knew that it was going to be Purdue or Indiana. I knew it. Purdue got annihilated by St. Mary's. Annihilated. St. Mary's, that conference, man, the West Coast Conference, St. Mary's, San Francisco, and Gonzaga, they look pretty tough right now. BYU's in that conference. So, but the coolest thing that happened, excuse me, the coolest thing that happened in the Indiana game, I'm going to bring this up for those of you on YouTube, the ball got stuck between the backboard and the camera, and so the Indiana cheerleaders did, I don't know what they call this, I wish cheerleading is not a sport, but if it was a sport, I would know what this is called, where you hold just one, usually a girl above your head, and her shoes are in your palms, if you're a guy. They did that. Watch this. And do you hear that? That's the announcer, pumping this girl up. So they're going to do this lift, and they're going to get the ball down. Okay, watch. She's got her up there, and she's like, yep, these guys are pros. This is the biggest cheerleading moment in history. Oh, man. Crowd goes wild, and awesome, awesome work from the public address announcer making that a moment. That will absolutely make one shining moment when it's time. Oh, sorry, I had to use the cough button there. My wife wanted to order St. Patrick's Day cookies last night. Let me tell you, they were fucking good. Oh, yeah, March Madness. Where were we? Yes. So other things we need to talk about, anything of note. San Francisco did lose. They lost by 5 to Murray State. Arkansas held on against Vermont. I had that upset. God damn it. Creighton beat San Diego State in the battle of two basketball schools. But the big one, St. Peter's beats Kentucky. So do you know where St. Peter's is? I'll give you 3 guesses. And it's in New Jersey. You know what? I think would be a fun exercise. Hold on. I'll just bring this up just for y'all. Let's go to St. Peter's College. Let's all learn about this together. So there's St. Peter's College. They beat Kentucky 85-79 in overtime. One of 2 overtime games, if I recall. Okay, so we're scrolling. Here's Wikipedia. There's directions. St. Peter's University. St. Peter's University is a private Jesuit university in Jersey City, New Jersey. It was founded as St. Peter's College in 1872. It has 314 academic staff, 3,500 students, 2,600 of which are undergraduate, and 881 of which are postgraduate. They play sports in something called, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. They must have got the auto bid for whatever this is. Who plays in this? Do you recognize any of these? Canisius, Fairfield, I recognize Fairfield, Iona, Manhattan, Marist, Monmouth. You guys are bouncing? Monmouth is leaving the Niagara, Quinnipiac, Ryder, Siena, and St. Peter's. They beat Kentucky. Tough day for Kentucky. How'd the SEC do overall? They did okay. Tennessee looked really good. Arkansas survived. Coming up today, the first game is Loyola, Chicago, or Loyola, Illinois, playing Ohio State. Auburn and Jackson State. I have Yale to beat Purdue. FYI, that game is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Notre Dame, Alabama is going to be an interesting to watch. This is a tough one because I usually equate football success with basketball failure. You see, Michigan is making a run in the tournament, but they had a bad year because their football team was good. Can't have both. Only like Ohio State and Florida can have both. This is a tough one. Alabama's much better. So I think Notre Dame's going to win. Literally, that's my analysis. That's my analysis. Get you out of here. Get you out of here on this. This Matthew Stafford commercial was going viral yesterday. I'm over the Matthew Stafford Detroit trade ship, but everybody thought it was funny, so I'll play it for you in its entirety. Here we go.
When I'm out for March Madness, you'll cover phone trades. People can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get the fuck out of here, Matthew Stafford. That's going to do it. I'll be back in Better Than Ever on Monday. We'll take a look at the Sweet 16. And probably we'll know where Deshaun Watson is going to be playing football this year. You can find me on YouTube, wherever podcasts are found, and all of that stuff that you say at the end of podcasts. Yeah. Bye-bye.